Formula One thrives on rumors, speculation, and dramatic shifts that can change the entire balance of the sport. Throughout its long history, we have seen drivers make moves that seemed unthinkable at one time, only to become defining chapters of the championship. And now, one of the most tantalizing possibilities is beginning to take shape in the whispers around the paddock. The idea of Max Verstappen, the dominant force of this generation, leaving Red Bull and one day driving for Ferrari. For some, it is pure fantasy. For others, it is only a matter of time before it becomes reality. But what would such a move mean for Verstappen, for Ferrari, and for the world of Formula One itself? To understand the magnitude of this speculation, we need to first look at where Verstappen stands today. The Dutchman is not just a multiple-time world champion. He is the defining driver of the modern era, rewriting records and establishing a dominance reminiscent of Schumacher's golden days at Ferrari or Hamilton's with Mercedes. Under contract with Red Bull until 2028, Verstappen has repeatedly expressed satisfaction with his team. He has said that he feels comfortable with the environment, trusts the engineers, and enjoys the car that has been molded around him. By every logical measure, leaving Red Bull makes little sense. Yet, in Formula One, logic is often bent by ambition, legacy, and the unpredictable dynamics of both sport and politics. Ferrari, of course, occupies a unique place in the imagination of any driver. It is not just another team, it is the Scuderia, the most iconic name in motorsport, the team of legends like Ascari, Lauda, and Schumacher. To drive for Ferrari is to become part of history in a way that transcends titles and statistics. Verstappen himself has acknowledged this allure. In several interviews, he has admitted his respect for Ferrari and its legacy, adding the caveat that he is happy where he is, but one should never say never. That phrase, never say never, has become the seed from which endless rumors have grown. The speculation gained traction as cracks began to appear in the seemingly unshakable Red Bull empire. Tensions behind the scenes, disputes involving team management, and the natural wear of dominance have all led to discussions about whether Verstappen might consider alternatives. His father, Jos Verstappen, has only fueled the fire by hinting at conversations with Mercedes, and by extension, the possibility of Ferrari entering the mix as well. When those words came out, they rippled through the paddock. Suddenly, Verstappen's future was no longer an untouchable certainty. But what would push Verstappen toward Ferrari? One factor is legacy. He has already proven everything with Red Bull. Multiple championships, countless victories, domination of entire seasons. To go further, he might want to challenge himself in the most demanding environment of all, Ferrari. Winning with Red Bull cements him as a legend. Winning with Ferrari would make him immortal. Schumacher built his legacy on taking Ferrari from mediocrity back to greatness. Hamilton, who shocked the world by announcing his move to Ferrari for 2025, clearly understood the pull of that narrative. For Verstappen, the temptation to write his own Ferrari chapter could eventually outweigh the comfort of Red Bull. There is also the reality of the driver market. By 2027, when certain exit clauses in his Red Bull contract may be triggered, the entire grid could look very different. Mercedes will be searching for stability after Hamilton. Ferrari, even with Leclerc under contract, might look for a proven champion to lead them back to the top. And Verstappen, despite his loyalty to Red Bull, has the bargaining power to position himself wherever he wishes. Ferrari, with its resources and prestige, would naturally be near the top of that list. Yet the move is not without enormous risks. Ferrari is both dream and nightmare. For every Schumacher who built an empire there are countless drivers who left with frustration and wasted potential. The politics inside Maranello, the pressure of millions of tifosi, and the burden of expectation can crush even the strongest personalities. Former F1 boss Bernie Ecclestone once bluntly warned that if Verstappen joined Ferrari, it would be the end of his career. His words reflect the historical reality. Ferrari is unpredictable, and even the most talented drivers cannot always bend it to their will. Another challenge would be the internal dynamics with Charles Leclerc. Ferrari has invested heavily in the Monégasque driver as its future star, and pairing him with Verstappen would inevitably create tension. Two highly competitive, emotionally intense drivers in the same team is a recipe for fireworks. Would Ferrari designate a clear number one? Would Leclerc accept Verstappen's arrival as a threat, or fight tooth and nail for supremacy? The balance of power inside Ferrari would be as much a battle as anything on track. At the same time, Verstappen might not want to risk diluting his dominance. At Red Bull, the car is built entirely around him, the strategy tailored to his preferences, and the team hierarchy crystal clear. In Ferrari, he would be walking into a storm of divided loyalties and constant political noise. Leaving that level of control behind is not a decision to be taken lightly. Still, Verstappen has always shown a competitive hunger that thrives on challenges. There is a part of him, some believe, that would relish the idea of taming Ferrari, of proving that his greatness transcends teams, engines, and colors. If he could take Ferrari back to the top, the way Schumacher did, his place in history would rise to a mythical level. It would no longer be about numbers but about storytelling, about becoming the hero of the most romantic tale Formula One has to offer. The rumors will continue to swirl because they are fed by uncertainty. Red Bull must prove it can remain competitive, both technically and politically, through the next regulation changes. Ferrari must show that it can provide a stable and winning environment. And Verstappen himself will keep the paddock guessing with his carefully chosen words, never closing the door, but never fully opening it either. His never-say-never attitude is the oxygen that keeps this fire alive. For now, Verstappen remains Red Bull's man, the face of its golden era. But time is a relentless force in Formula One. Contracts expire, alliances shift, and ambitions evolve. Just as Hamilton's move to Ferrari shocked the world, Verstappen to Ferrari could be the next seismic event. Not today, not tomorrow, but perhaps in the not-so-distant future. And so, fans are left to wonder, what would it look like? Verstappen in Ferrari red, leading the team at Monza as the Tifosi erupt in a sea of passion, chasing glory in the most iconic colors of the sport. It is a vision that excites, terrifies, and fascinates all at once. Because in Formula One, the only certainty is uncertainty. And perhaps, one day, Max Verstappen in a Ferrari will no longer be a dream or a rumor, but the defining reality of a new era.